Oh, these aren't your mama's dandelions, The world is filled with all kinds of rare, exotic, amazing, and wonderful things. And you might not think of plants as being something that deserves to be on that list, but as it turns out, there are several plants in this world that you will likely never see or even hear about because they are so exotic and rare. That is, of course, until this video. Seriously, if you've never thought of plants as amazing, this might just change your perspective. Here are the 10 rarest exotic plants on Earth. Number 10 is the golf ball. Mammillaria herrerae, more commonly known as the golf ball, is named appropriately because it resembles a golf ball. These cool-looking plants can be found in Mexico, specifically within an area that is less than 1 kilometer squared and requires hot, dry climates to thrive. Illegal collecting by nearby businesses and even children are the biggest threats to the golf ball, as it's considered a unique ornament and is desired for homes and gardens by people visiting the area. It's estimated that over the last 20 years, the number of golf ball plants has plummeted by over 95%. In 2011, it was reported that less than 430 mature plants were surviving by themselves in the wild, a number that is no doubt much smaller today. Okay, picking this rare exotic plant is dumb. You should all just stop it. However, it's not as dumb as actually trying to play with it. I found a golf ball growing out of the ground, guys. Oh, it exploded. Number 9 is Attenborough's pitcher plant. Named after naturalist and broadcaster Sir David Frederick Attenborough, Attenborough's pitcher plant also gets its label from its appearance, which resembles a bell-shaped pitcher of liquid complete with a lid. Officially known as Nepenthes attenborough, these carnivorous plants are exposed to the elements, so they're usually found full of rainwater, in addition to whatever they've happened to catch and feed on. Oh, I'm just a plant. Come on, mice, I'm hungry. They can only be found in the Philippines, going undiscovered until 2009, and are considered to be a critically endangered species. Research into the Attenborough pitcher plant's habitat revealed that there are only around 300 different plants, a number affected by their value in Japanese and Taiwanese markets. Number 8 is Pokeme Boy Tree. While it may have a humorous name, the Pokeme Boy Tree's current status is actually no laughing matter. That's because there are so few of them left to joke about. Is that because they're ticklish? Poke, poke. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop. Also known as Vaculaea annigadensis, this plant could easily be wiped out if something isn't done to positively affect climate change. The Pokeme Boy Tree is exclusively found just 8 meters above sea level on 2 of the British Virgin Islands in the Caribbean Sea. A member of the legume family, these spiny shrub-like plants are considered critically endangered due to the small areas they're found being taken up by development projects such as real estate and hotel construction. Oh, you found one of them rare plants, huh? Yeah, but we gotta put a pool in. But the biggest risk could actually be a rise in sea levels, which, if it passes 8 meters, could drown these plants. Number 7 is the suicide palm. A truly interesting species of plant, the Tahina spectabilis gets its nickname the suicide palm due to its life cycle. Found only in northwestern Madagascar, these giant palm trees live for around 50 years and then flower, dropping seeds and dying in the process. Suicide palms' numbers are being threatened due to the increased frequency of fire, which has transformed much of the plant's natural habitat, and by livestock grazing around them, which further removes such habitat and destroys seeds before they can even begin growing. It's been estimated that only around 90 suicide palms exist today, but it's possible that that number could be as small as 30, meaning that these fascinating plants are on the verge of extinction. I'm no scientist, but if you're gonna name it the suicide palm, isn't that its job to sort of disappear after a while? I mean, it's not named the live forever plant. Number 6 is the jellyfish tree. Officially called Medusagyne oppositifolia, the jellyfish tree gets its name from the shape of its fruit after it bursts open and spreads seeds. A tropical plant, this tree can only be found at 4 sites off the east coast of Africa, with every specimen within 2 kilometers of the ocean. It can grow up to 10 meters tall and has a dark colored bark with deep fissures in it. Once considered to be completely extinct, a handful of them were actually found in the 1970s. Still, they're considered to be critically endangered, as only one of the sites where they've been found is repopulating, while the other 3 have only been aging. It's estimated that only 86 mature jellyfish trees exist today, and that number is shrinking faster than it's growing. I think there's a direct correlation between how cool a plant looks and how quickly it goes extinct. You never see shrubs disappearing. Number 5 is the Western Underground Orchid. The Rhizanthella gardneri, or Western Underground Orchid, is such a rare plant that its precise locations are actually kept secret from the public in an effort to keep their numbers from decreasing any faster than the rate that they already are. Native to the Western Australia outback, these beautiful orchids are actually classified as a parasite. Sounds like the same classification as some of the women in Hollywood. It spends its entire life cycle submerged under the soil, surviving by leaching nutrients from a fungus that grows on the roots of broom bush instead of through photosynthesis as normal orchids do. Considered to be critically endangered, these mysterious plants are truly bizarre, making them desirable to many. To date, it's estimated that there are only around 50 of them in 5 locations under the soils in Australia. Okay, hold up. If these things are underground, how do we really know that they're disappearing? There could be many. Kinda like Ninja Turtles. Number 4 is the Ascension Island Parsley Fern. Unique to Ascension Island, a volcanic landmass in the South Atlantic Ocean, the Ascension Island parsley fern can only be found on the steep slopes of Green Mountain. First recorded in 1842, these small ferns feature yellow-green leaves that resemble parsley. Much of the plant life on Ascension Island was destroyed either by humans directly destroying its habitat or through the introduction of invasive animal species such as goats, sheep, rabbits, and rats that were brought in by Portuguese explorers and ate much of it. But for the plants on Green Mountain, life was also strongly affected by the introduction of outside plant species to the area by British botanists looking to change the soils and climate. As of 2003, the parsley fern is considered extinct outside of the preservation area. Man, I've said it before, leave it up to the goats to always be causing trouble. Number 3 is the parrot's beak. Found only in the Canary Islands, the Lotus bertholati, also known as parrot's beak, coral gem, and lotus vine flower, is a perennial flower that is cultivated for its ornamental look. The species has leaves that are divided into 3 to 5 leaflets, each of which are 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters long and covered in tiny hairs that appear silver in color. Covered in tiny hairs, huh? I might belong to this species. The flowers range in color from orange red to bright red and are shaped like a pea flower. Many consider the parrot's beak to be extinct in the wild, as none have been found occurring naturally for several years. Back in 1884, the species was already labeled as an exceedingly rare species, and its beauty had many collecting them for their gardens or arrangements, making its numbers decline even faster. Number 2 is the VENDA CICAD. The Encephalartos hirsustus, or VENDA CICAD, is a plant species native to South Africa. Found at altitudes ranging from 1,287 to 1,609 kilometers above sea level, these fern-like plants were last spotted in 2004 by helicopter surveyors, who reported only finding around 219 plants, well below the 400 to 500 that were estimated to be in existence. However, in 2006, ground rangers from the Limpopo provincial government failed to locate a single VENDA CICAD, drawing questions as to what happened to them or if they're even still around. The VENDA CICAD is classified as a critically endangered plant species, and many believe it's already extinct, claiming other variations found are either man-made or of different CICAD subspecies. Man, these things are rare, kind of like the Baldus santorowis. One of a kind, pray for me. And number 1 is the wood CICAD. The Encephalartos woodii, also known as the wood CICAD, is the rarest plant on the planet that we know of. Unique to the forests of South Africa, these species are actually extinct in nature, only existing in man-made facilities and cloned in order to reproduce. First discovered in 1895, the wood CICAD is a palm tree that can reach as high as 6 meters. Its trunk has a diameter of 30 to 50 centimeters, and it's topped with dark green leaves. Due to the fact that the wood CICAD is dioecious, meaning it requires both male and female plants to form a new one, and a female plant has never been found in the wild, this plant only exists in protected gardens. Only one naturally occurring male version of the species exists, and was relocated to save the plant from true extinction. Wait, one of these things needs a male and a female partner? These plants be getting freaky. So those are the 10 rarest exotic plants on Earth. And if you guys enjoyed this, remember to give it a big thumbs up. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and click the bell beside the subscribe button so that you can enable notifications so you never miss a thing, because I release new videos all the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!